Strap in, you filthy hookers. Illuminati Church is about to begin. Let's talk about a little-known mind control conspiracy. Now, to know if you're affected by this, think about this. Now, have you ever read something, came across a typo, and then you instantly think, how credible can this guy be if he's not even spelling right? This is called F-Nord, and it's meant to control your mind. Now see, a free thinker, they don't care about spelling and grammar. It's the message that's important, right? I mean, you have to be brainwashed to not understand that. Now, to learn more about F-Nord, Illuminati Church has an offer you can't refuse. Banned from Amazon. It's the sickest conspiracy book ever. Die, sheep will die. Banned in over 40 countries. When you've had your fill of truth, it's time for reality. So get your free copy by clicking the link below. No sign-up required, but you have to act fast because it's only while supplies last. And now, for Illuminati Church.
What's going on, guys? Speaking of typos, check this out. Can you see that?
Yes, sir.
I think that's the wrong one. Oh, fruend. You're dead fucking fruend. It's a typo. Alright. Whoa, you did a April Fool's prank.
Yeah, many of you guys probably saw my April Fool's video I did. It got reviews, I think.
You almost got him too, dude. More April Fool's pranks. Mark Dice made a video about something that was a prank. And it was... Here, I'll screen share it. This letter that was an earthquake notice, they sent it out to an ambulance company, a private ambulance company, and they thought they were going to have an earthquake in LA. And a bunch of people reported on this, including Mark Dice, and it was just a hoax. A bogus letter circulating online is a warning to Southland residents about the impending earthquake.
Yes, I see here, the hoax letter, which uses a U.S. Geological Survey logo, states in part, "Please be advised, as of this morning, March 31st, 2014, the state of California is issuing a statewide warning, as we have just received information from the state's seismic warning systems, urging residents in the following areas to be prepared for a sizable earthquake, up to, but not limiting a 7.4 magnitude tremor."
Right. And then...
So, I mean, that's an April Fool's joke. That's like a huge fear monger, huh? I mean, earthquakes in LA is nothing new, but a 7.4?
Right. I did make a video, but I erased it because I felt bad because Mark Dice got pissed. I talked about that there was an earthquake in Chile, and he came back after I made that video, and kind of like talk shit about everybody who made videos on this tsunami that happened. I was one of them, but I erased it because, I don't know, it wasn't too good of a video.
Well, I want some freedom fries and a glass of tangy tangerine, says Stuart Jones.
Alright. Well, since I jump to conclusions all the time, I'm the jump to conclusions Matt, I just wanted to go over a few things if you're new to the channel. I've never called myself a truther.
Truther?
It's just a word I don't like to, basically call myself. I don't even cares, but, just
you want
that.
to be a birther?
A
Let's be birthers, dude.
What's that?
You don't know what a birther is?
Mm-mm.
Oh, man, you didn't know, dude? Obama's not officially the president because he's not a natural-born citizen? That's a birther, dude. That's the birther community.
And then, if you're new to the channel, I get a lot of shit about the Illuminati and the reptiles. Yeah, I'm not the Illuminati, and I don't believe in reptilian shapeshifters. I actually did a video called Marine Dolphino Debunked, and it shows you how to make shapeshifters. It's just camera distortion. So, it's just satire, guys. And then the Illuminati, basically we would go out and debunk Mark Dice, because the Illuminati was a Bavarian freethinker group that got disbanded or whatever, eliminated in Bavaria. And I started making videos debunking Mark Dice, and I started to get a lot of how could you say it? I got a lot of people saying I was in the Illuminati. How much does the Illuminati pay you to make these videos? And this and that. And then people would tell me that the Illuminati was a noun, but I differ on that idea. So, the Illuminati Church is satire.
Yeah, I mean, our whole show has been about the Illuminati's not real. Let's talk about the real people. Because when people say Illuminati, Illuminati, they're pointing a finger at this little shadow group, right? And that's who you're looking at. And you're not looking at the actual people and organizations that are involved in all this crazy stuff.
Right. And you gotta be, what do they call that? Actually, Randy Life told me that you should get your toes wet before you go knee deep. When I was super into conspiracy theories, and that kind of resonated with me. So I just, I don't know, I debunked Illuminati stuff, and people thought I was in the Illuminati.
Right, you're kind of, you're the guy who has that video, the Obama shapeshifter video, that has, what, 250,000 views? And when you watch it, you're basically trolling everybody. You're like, why are you watching this? Look at all you people, you know?
Right, and I think, the Illuminati is, basically, it's people, I don't know, you could specifically take, certain groups, like the Circo group, or Booz Allen Hamilton, and stuff like that. People will call it the Illuminati. That's what Mark Dice does. And that's my disagreement with Mark Dice. I don't think Mark Dice is a super bad guy or anything. I don't have really anything against him. But I think when you show Freemason stuff and say it's the Illuminati or anything esoteric or symbology and stuff like that, I just don't think that's the right thing to do. You should specifically point out what it is you're talking about.
Yeah, he's kind of like the tabloids at the newsstand, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I do have to say he's been making some better videos though lately. And I don't know. I haven't been trolling him, I guess you could say, lately, because I kind of get where he's going at. He's just had to get people to watch his videos, so he puts in pop culture with it. You know?
Yeah. Now, I was challenged recently. I was asked, why am I allowing people to flag down a video that I apparently had liked? Now, the truth of the matter is, it was a bluff. We did a screen share of filling in a flag form, but it was a bluff. It was a hoax. We were messing with you, man. Me and my people don't flag videos, man. It's you guys. It's you guys.
I'm not really into going. I wouldn't even flag Corey C's videos. And the weird thing about that is, since the Shaw Media thing came up, and that's on the paper, it's copywritten by Shaw Media. That's the whole note that I got. There's nothing to do with, what do they call it? Intellectual properties, anything like that.
But the Italian guy had that. He said that because it was the video in its entirety. But I mean, but it's kind of a BS argument, right? Because there was chop-ups too, and they all got flagged down.
Right. And to get to more on what I was talking about, in that video there was a King Kull video uploaded in its entirety. Now they could say it's different, but I guess that would be intellectual property too. I mean, that's just a little loophole that was kind of, I don't know. Intellectual property is kind of bullshit, I would say. That's a pretty big cop-out. Speaking of the Italian guy, I'm going to share this for you guys.
Now, see, when it comes to the Illuminati, I think Tupac said it best, right? I mean, he said people are so worried about whose face is on the money, they don't focus on getting the money. And you see, money it's like a magic paper, right? I mean, you can make almost anyone do almost anything if you got enough of that magic paper.
Right. You know what's kind of weird is all these people making money on the internet lately, there's kind of like a negative connotation to it. Bar None himself sells origami pyramids and has AdSense, and even Raw Dog is selling trading cards and you can donate in money now. But it seems as though you have to be in a certain pay bracket. A lot of people will attack, and I see Caliber Hitter's point, because you could be influenced. It's not like where Christopher Green or whatever the AMTV guy is, just throwing up ads all over the place, and in the beginning of the video, then AdSense, and then after you get done with that, you can click in the About box, and there's like 50 million things you can make money off of.
Mm-hmm.
Or he can, and I don't know. It seems that like the people who don't make much money get attacked the most for it. You see what I'm saying?
I do see what you're saying. And I'll be honest, I kind of agree with the bald guy on the point of view that who cares? I mean, AdSense and selling products, right? I mean, if you got people willing to buy, if you're selling products and you got people willing to buy them, then who cares? But it's different if you're making these videos and you're acting like, oh, my kids are going hungry, my electric's getting shut off, stuff like that, and you're trying to get people to give you money. And that's like some of the girls I exposed in the past when I was giving out those Moloch Awards, like Teal Scott and that other girl, where they did those Kickstarter campaigns. Those girls did Kickstarter campaigns. Teal Scott raised $5,000 from her fans, and all she did with the money was she put up billboards. She put up advertisements to her website on billboards. That's where that money went. Then the other girl, I can't remember her name right now, she raised about the same amount. I think she raised $8,000, and she was going to open up a alternative healing clinic in Peru. That's what she was saying she was doing. She was real big into like the ayahuasca and the psychedelics and those kinds of things. And she was going to open up, she said she was going to open up this little alternative healing center in Peru. But when she got the $8,000, she cashed out, closed down her website, and moved to Canada.
Yeah, that's pretty messed up. I don't know. What do you guys think about making money on the internet? Do you think everyone's a shill? Like, you guys in the audience? Because, I mean, I don't know. People got to make money too, but it seems that people like Raw Dog makes like 25 times more than I make a year. and he can ask for donations, and he can sell cards. But if I did it, people would call me a shill. You know what I'm saying?
I do. I see what you're saying.
Yeah. So I agree with Caliber Hitter on like how, you know, Google's got to make their money and stuff like that. I think I've had AdSense on here for probably, well, not on this channel. There's no AdSense on this channel, but AdSense on Silver Guitar, I think I went like an entire year without ever making a check. And there's not a lot of money to be made in AdSense or anything like that. Although I've gotten like more attractive offers from other companies, but you can't like get out of your AdSense, your Google AdSense. They take a lot of money too.
And that's the thing about the AdSense too, right? I mean, you got to remember, it does cost YouTube a little bit of money to host your videos and to hold a comment section and stuff like that. So when you have AdSense on a video, you know, YouTube, Google, they're getting money from it too. So, you know, because they split it in half, right? You know, it's down the middle.
Yeah, pretty much. I've gotten some offers from some other companies. One company wanted to give me 80%. That's pretty good. But I can't get out of the Google one. But I'm not against people making money on here. Like, as far as if you have like a product like Barnum does, he's a nice guy. He, you know, sells orgone pyramids and people want to buy them. I don't, you know, I don't see anything wrong with that. The Raw Dog one's kind of cool too, the trading card thing.
Right. And I would say I'm a little unnerved if it's fear mongering selling, you know. Right. I don't like that stuff. It's, you know, like the Fukushima radiation is going to get you, so buy these iodine pills. And it was found that iodine, if you're in a place where your water has fluoride in it, you're consuming fluoride water. If you live in an area like that and you take iodine, it causes there's a chemical reaction, an adverse reaction that makes you sick.
Right. Yeah, I don't like the Alex Jones stuff because they'll freak people out. I remember one time he had, what do you call it? He had made a book about, like, you know, when shit hits the fan and you got to move out and live in the wilderness. He put up the best spot to go in his book was up here on Donner Pass, and that's where the Wagoneers got stuck. The Donner Party. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Donner Party. Have you heard that story before, Bo?
You said a Donner Party?
Yeah.
Looks like the viewers are saying you're muffly and ask if you would get closer to the mic.
Oh, my bad, guys. I've been having bad audio problems, and I can't like even record with my headphones right now. I don't know what's going on. I think they might have got messed up or kinked or something like that. So I'm talking through the web camera right now, and this web camera sucks too. Does it still sound muffly to you, Bo?
You're a little better. You're a little louder now.
Sorry, guys. I'll have it fixed out next week. But anyway, the Donner Party, they were like a Mormon wagon group, and they had made it to Donner Pass. And that's also on, what is it, the Modern Marvels. The world's deadliest highway is Donner Pass. And what happened is they got to the, you know, Donner Lake, and they decided to camp out for the night. And it snowed 100 feet overnight, and they ended up eating each other.
Ooh, cannibalism, huh?
If they would have kept going, they would have made it over the pass, and they wouldn't have got snowed in.
Yeah, I saw a movie about that. Where they started, they were eating the corpses way back 20-something years ago. I know what you're talking about.
I think that's alive when the soccer team crashed in the Andes Mountains and the airplane crashed. I read that book. The airplane crashed over there and it was a soccer team and they ate each other too, and they were only 1 mile away from a resort, which kind of sucks for them because they went the wrong way, and if they would have went the other way, they would have got to this resort that had a bunch of canned food in it and stuff that's closed down for the winter.
Oh, what a deal.
Then they ate each other.
So they ate each other? They said,
yeah,
I'll cut off my leg and you cut off your leg, and then I'll give you mine and you give me yours.
They like froze to death, so what they would do is they'd basically make beef jerky by, cutting meat off the dead people and drying it out on the metal on the airplane.
Well,
yeah.
I know that wouldn't work today. Cannibalism is not an option if SHTF, dude, because all these people, they're going to become zombies because of all the antidepressants and getting high on all this different stuff all the time. That would probably kill you if you ate it.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty weird, huh? Cannibals.
It happens.
Yeah, I guess some of those Mormon Wagoneers stayed cannibals afterwards too. They still ate people after the winter passed and they made it to California. Some of them stayed cannibals. They got the taste of blood. They liked it.
It's they made it a cultural thing, huh? That's crazy.
Yeah, kind of weird. Well, as you guys know, one of my buddies died in the Aurora, Colorado Batman shooting. His name's Jonathan Blunt. I did make a video on it one time, but there was a copyright infringement because the Associated Press owns all the pictures of death and destruction. If you look anything up, it has a copyright by Associated Press. So that was one thing I did like about Obama, is that he went after them for threatening national security. But what I liked about it is because, that's not really right to... Because one of the pictures that they have copywritten is him in his coffin, with the girl, his wife, Chantel, and then the kids. Looking at him dead in the coffin, and I think that's kind of messed up to have a copyright on that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a little crazy. I understand that some photographers that take pictures of celebrities and sell them to newspapers and magazines and such, I can understand those people. Excuse me. I can understand those people don't want to have their photographs just used by anybody anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're the ones who went out there. They're the ones who bought the camera in the first place. They're the ones who paid for the film, et cetera, et cetera. But it's a little bit, a little weird when it's a photo of just someone in a coffin, and it's just, that's like something that you put in a public paper. That should just be a public thing, I would say, from a moral standpoint.
That was one of the things too. That I got into with Dallas Goldbug. He said all the people were crisis actors in that. And I got attacked. People said that I think everyone who dies is a crisis actor, but I know for sure my friend...
Those guys, when they say that...
I know for sure Jonathan Blunt died, is dead. So Dallas Goldbug made a video saying that everyone who died in that was a crisis actor. I also saw another video where people were saying that it was reptilian shapeshifters hoaxed that, and that one really did happen. So I don't know. That was something that kind of bothered me. But anyway, to get back on that.
Yeah, when it comes to the whole crisis acting thing, I would be willing to concede at a very far at a very far stretch that maybe they do use crisis actors, but there are real deaths. And say it's a 10% rule, right? 3 people die, and you could boost it up to make it scarier and say 30 people died. And people do have to really die in this stuff to be able to report on it, because there's going to be people who come snooping around asking questions. And then what you could do is you could take the 3 people and showcase them, right? And then fabricate the rest. I would be willing to say that. But to say that, like the Batman shooting, no one died at all, I mean, it doesn't... I don't think you could pull that off and have just the whole world be falling for it. No one actually died, but here, these people, you know.
There might be cases where it does happen, but in that particular case, the people died. He jumped over. He was married, but this is kind of... I was going to get into talking about this with Baron M, but I guess I'll talk about it now. He was dating a girl, and basically they had got married because his wife... Well, Chantel was dating my buddy Josh, and Jonathan was dating another girl, and he just got out of the Navy. He was in the Navy base in Colorado. And they decided to go watch the movie. And he's kind of a hero. I remember when we were in school, we had to write a paper on... there's a Vietnam story where like they threw a grenade into a school, and some guy jumped over the grenade, and you know, he got killed instead of all the school children getting killed. And we had to write a story if we would do that. And he was the only one in the class who actually did that, or who said he would actually do that. And that's what he did in the Colorado Batman shooting. He jumped over his girlfriend and took all the bullets. So that's why he is on the cover of Time magazine after he died. But what happened is that there was the Aurora victims shooting, right? And the Aurora victims shooting, the Aurora Victims Fund, they were going out to collect money to support the people who had like hospital bills, and to support the people, you know, funerals and stuff like that. And they raised like a couple $1 million in a couple days, and they only gave $5,000 to each victim and family. And that wouldn't barely pay for a funeral. Actually, they couldn't even bring his body back to Reno. They had a memorial here for him. And what I kind of wanted to talk about is I didn't like what Chantel did. Chantel went out and attacked his girlfriend, even though they were both dating people. She was acting as though they were like they were married, but they weren't. They were separated. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
she went out saying like that he was cheating on her and all this stuff like that, and that girl wouldn't. She could have saved his life and stuff like that. She just left him there to die. And she also went out against the Aurora Victims Fund, right? Her herself ended up putting on the SAT story and going on all these media outlets and stuff like that. And she ended up raising $1 million. So she has $1 million. She bought a house and a new truck. I've seen her like once or twice, but I thought that was pretty a shitty thing for her to do. After, she went out and she made the most money out of any victim, and she wasn't even really a victim. You know what I mean? She wasn't there that night in Colorado. And I just think that's kind of messed up that she did that. And that's basically what I wanted to say.
I hate to interrupt you, man, but dude, what is going on with that photo, man?
Well,
what is that?
It has to do with the Aurora, Colorado Batman shooting. The Italian guy sent me this, I think it was like to try to be like since my buddy died in the Colorado Batman shooting, he was trying to be like mean, I guess. And I got a different take on this. I thought he was actually hitting on me. This seems very homoerotic.
I see what you mean. It just ain't right.
Yeah, I don't know. He's even got lipstick on and everything. Why does he have his shirt off? I know what he was going for, but this seems very, very gay. And if you're a gay Italian guy, I don't care. I know, like, I'm a college dude, but I don't know. It's just kind of creepy. And for people who are gay or whatever, I don't care if you're gay. I'm not against gay people, but this just creeps me out.
Yeah, it's funny to me how he talked about how I'm divorced. And then now there's like this Bo Goran's ex-wife troll. Like I block him. And it doesn't, like I don't know if he makes another one or something, because I block him, and I had to block him twice already.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with this guy. Here's another.
Wait, but hey, I mean, if I think that these guys are involved with this sock account, I mean, I must be jumping to conclusions, Matt, right? I'm a tard on the short bus because I mean, you talked about it, and then at the same time, now there's a troll account. I mean, obviously, if I think there's some involvement there, I guess hey, I'm a tard then.
Right, which brings me to another thing too. A known liar is what I've been called, and there for Corey. He doesn't like it when I clear my throat. A known liar. These guys have done nothing but make stuff up about me. Like, I've never said I was a truther. I'm not on welfare. I work for a living. And also, what did he say? That I live with my mom. Prove that I live with my mom. Prove that I'm on welfare. And prove that I've ever said that I was a truther. Weird guy.
Yeah, I don't want to be a truther. I want to be a birther.
Yeah. Like in that Batman movie, anyway, how the Joker always said, always had like a funny joke about how his, or it wasn't really funny, it was kind of creepy, about how his face got split.
Yeah, he had different stories for each time, yeah.
Yeah. How do you think Italian got his face split? Okay. Enough with this guy.
Yeah, take that down now.
I know, it's creeping me out. Alrighty. Then to gather on any more about this stuff, our R-rated Wiener show has like all these big questions for me to ask, and or ask me a bunch as if he was a bar associate and I'm on the stand. And I really don't need to answer any of those questions. Everyone should be able to see that that video was not copywritten in intellectual properties. It was copywritten by Shaw Media Incorporated. Now, a lot of people will say, well, never mind that. If a lot of people are saying to me that, why don't you make friends with Corey C? I've been getting a lot of that. And I really don't see why I should be making friends with him unless he removes the copyright strike, which he can do. He can send in, I can send him a letter, and he can go remove the copyright strike. And that would be the right thing for him to do, so I can use my regular channel, right?
Right.
I mean, It would be a lot better if I could go on Silver Guitar and restore my channel so, Illuminati Church can grow. I mean, I don't know why he's so pissed off about our show and why he watches it so much. And, bunch of middle-aged men want to come attack us kids, right, Bo?
I hear you.
Right. Anyway, oh yeah. And let's get into this, too. About 3-4 years ago, before I made Silver Guitar, I used to make chop-up videos. And we chopped up everyone in the Silver community. And I was doing it with another guy, and we made one on Corey C, and then the channel started getting flagged, of course. And I got a couple copyright strikes. Then I made Silver Guitar, and I basically it's a different thing. You know what I mean? It's not chop ups. I'm not making fun of anybody. People were really pissed, especially Barnett. So go to screen share again. I'll go show you that Corey C stole my chop up style 3 years ago. I only got a couple of videos up. I guess I could show one. Well, this isn't a chop up, but alright, yeah. That's me, right?
That's you.
Yeah. So, nope. It's gone now, but I should have checked it before I started the show. But he had a H1 Inc. Comment on this one. And go to the channel. This doesn't have AdSense on it, so I guess I can play copywritten material. So this is when I had to go erase a bunch of videos because people were so pissed off. The only ones I really kept up was the DaVinci J Bitcoins one, because that was the newest thing coming out then. And Corey C, H1 Inc., they got pissed. Silver Futurist was pissed. Greg from Scrap Gold Business was pissed. Stella Concepts was pissed. Nick Dutch, George for Title, Demcad, Randy Tooth, Endless Mountain, YT killed Raw Dog, and which is Raw Dog, and Bar None. So I had to erase this channel, but if you want to watch a chop up real quick, just to show you this, I had 30 chop up videos. This is what I used to do on this channel 3 years ago.
Person spent a lot of time coming up with this design of Bitcoin. He was actually trying to scam you, and before they go bankrupt, they got scammed, and that's a Ponzi scheme. Ponzi scheme, and there's somebody doing the same being a bag holder, right? And then they betrayed that trust, and throwing us all into a Ponzi scam, right? So that is what Bitcoin has invented. Ponzi scheme. That's what Bitcoin is, right? It requires no trust, right? And so how does this guy get compensated for this? And anyone could have gotten a Bitcoin, jumped in onto this Bitcoin thing and first traded it. You have to mine for those who still I can show you a huge computer system downstairs in my basement. It's all in YouTube already. In order for me to mine for Bitcoin, you have to spend a lot of money to mine for Bitcoin. And as time goes on longer, it gets harder and harder, and you have to cost more and more money to mine for Bitcoin. Yeah, that's what's going to happen. This is how Bitcoin is Ponzi scheme. I know you don't get it, and you know what? It's amazing.
So like that was my style that he stole from me a long time ago. I thought there was a comment on there, but that's about it. Let's go to the questions right now. The comments.
Yeah, what I got up here, in case you guys were wondering, is it's called the Mahler Sky Car. Now, the Mahler Sky Car, Mahler International, has developed the first and only feasible, personally affordable, and personal vertical takeoff and landing vehicle the world's ever seen. It's called VTOL. That's vertical takeoff and landing. You've always known it was just a matter of time before the world demanded some kind of flying machine which would replace the automobile. Now, of course, this machine would have to be capable of VTOL, be easy to maintain, cost-effective, reliable. Well, at Mahler International, they got that set up. And here it is. Here's some of the prototypes. As it stands, it goes for about $100,000, and it gets about 20 miles per gallon. You could drive it on the road, or the jet engines pivot so that you could take off and you could fly too. Now, they keep this stuff suppressed. I don't know why. I'm still trying to figure out why. I don't know if people ain't digging the way it looks. I kind of dig the way it looks.
I guess Corey C. thinks that I live in my dad's house because that's on my driver's license, but I don't live there. And my parents are divorced, so that's kind of weird. These guys get all personal and shit.
Yeah, I'm asked, do I love death fakers? Like I said in a video previously, and that's actually another thing I agree with the bald guy with. If I would be pretty upset, you know, if someone I was hanging out with and stuff like faked his own death and stuff like that, and then came back, hey guys, I was just playing. I'd be happy he was alive, but I'd be like, screw you, dude. That sucks, dude.
All right. Huh. So, what do we got on COINTELPRO? We got Project Hoodwink. That's a COINTELPRO. That was an FBI program in like the 50s. Did you read up on that book?
Yeah, the Project Hoodwink. The basic backstory of it is the FBI got into cahoots with the mafia.
Yeah. Basically what happened is that the Communist Party and the Mafia were targeted in the COINTEL project by the FBI, and in the beginning they didn't have anything against each other. What happened is that the FBI went in and started sending letters to the worker, the Communist Party newsletter that they would send out. And what happened is that the FBI sent a letter saying that the La Cosa Nostra was loan sharking and targeting the Communist Party. And what happened after that is the La Cosa Nostra started getting pissed, and then someone who worked in the docks, which was mafia run at the time, basically they started sending letters to the Union, which was run by the Mafia. And they wanted to the FBI wanted to get rid of the communists and the Mafia. So they started a letter writing campaign between each other. And what happened is they started fighting each other, and they basically killed each other off.
Yeah, it began with the pen and ended in blood.
Right. And that's the COINTEL. I think that was the first one. That's called Project Hoodwink. I'll leave that in the description box below.
Yeah, even though they got some of it blacked out, they revealed some pretty interesting stuff that is, I would say, is pretty important to know.
Yeah, they had a black extremist group that they put in the mix too. Basically, I would think it would be the Black Panthers, but they're blacked out in the FBI, the vault.fbi.gov. Another interesting thing too is they have aliens crash spaceship on FBI.gov. If you guys want to see that?
Yeah, that's right. They got the documents right on there about the. They don't even call them UFOs because it's not unidentified.
Let me do a search for it real quick.
I also see recently here that Karen Hudes, which used to work for the World Bank, and who is now considered by many to be a crazy person, she came out and talked about how there's over 170,000 metric tons of gold being hidden.
Really?
I see an article here written by Greg Hunter over at U.S. Watchdog. Former World Bank senior counsel and whistleblower Karen Hudes has an amazing revelation about secret U.S. gold. Hudes says, we've been offered, the United States, 170,500 metric tons of gold on deposit in the Bank of Hawaii to underpin our currency, which is about to crash. The Federal Reserve notes are unconstitutional, and we don't have to pay interest on our debt. We don't even have to have debt for that matter. Now, what does Hudes say to her skeptics that doubt her story of that 170,000 tons of gold? Hudes says, I say you're totally kept in the dark, and that the mainstream media is controlled by this network of control that is totally documented by the Federal Institute of Technology. You really ought to chide yourself that you're deliberately kept in the dark. So you shouldn't be surprised that the world's wealth is hidden from you when so much else is hidden from you.
Interesting. You have a cancer one too, don't you? Vaccines causing cancer?
Oh no, not cancer, autism.
Autism.
Let me cue that up.
Yeah, expand on that.
Yeah, in an article written by Arjun Walia at the Activist Post, says concerns regarding vaccinations continue to increase exponentially in light of all the information and documentation that's surfaced over the past few years. As a result, corporate media has responded to alternative media, stating that the increase of persons who are choosing to opt out of vaccines and the recommended vaccine schedule is a result of quote-unquote fear-mongering. Now, it's not too surprising as the corporate media is owned by the major vaccine manufacturers, and the major vaccine manufacturers are owned by corporate media, so they own each other. Now, given this fact, it's easy to fathom the possibility that these institutions are desperately trying to protect the reputation of their product. For example,
If we take a look at GlaxoSmithKline and Pfizer, they're owned by the same financial institutions and group that own Time Warner, which is, CNN, HBO, etc., and General Electric, NBC, Comcast, Universal Pictures. This is seen throughout all the major vaccine manufacturers and all of the 6 corporations that control our mainstream media. Keep in mind that these are the major funders of all medical research that's used to administer drugs and vaccinations. Despite these connections, medical research and documentation exist to show that vaccines might indeed be a cause for concern. Now, vaccines and autism, both sides of the coin. You can see this article for yourself, activistpost.com. Now, here we'll simply present information from both sides of the coin, because often people don't realize the two exist. As you can tell from this, and as you may know, there's a vaccine autism debate. It's been going on for years. It's been a tale of shifting beliefs as child vaccination rates remain high. Back in February of 1998, Andrew Wakefield, a British gastroenterologist, and his colleagues published a paper that supposedly linked autism to vaccines. More specifically, he claimed that the MMR vaccine was responsible for intestinal inflammation that led to translocation of usually non-permeable peptides to the bloodstream and subsequently to the brain, where they affected development. His work was never published. He lost his medical license despite the fact that multiple studies seem to support Andrew Wakefield's work. We're talking the scientific method here, man. It's been labeled a fraud by the mainstream medical world, and some experts claim that his research and methods are weak and based on very little evidence.
Here's the, on the vault.fbi.gov, if you go to Guy Hotel, this isn't Roswell, but this is a different one, around the same time frame. Says an investigator for the Air Force stated that 3 so-called flying saucers had been recovered in New Mexico. They were described as being circular in shape with raised centers, approximately 50 feet in diameter. Each one was occupied by 3 bodies, three bodies of human shape, but only 3 feet tall, dressed in metallic cloth of very fine texture. Each body was bandaged in a manner similar to the blackout suits used by the speed flyers and test pilots. According to Mr. Blank, the informant, the saucers were found in New Mexico due to the fact that the government has very high-powered radar set up in the area, and it is believed that the radar interferes with controlling mechanisms of the saucer. No further evaluation was attempted concerning the above. So, I think Guy Hotel messed up and did a memorandum, and they actually documented flying saucers crashing.
It's really something. And yet it remains, people are willing to just say, I don't believe in aliens because there's no evidence. I mean, apparently aliens have to become citizens and walk among us until people just kind of be willing to accept that these things that it could be real.
Right. And to yeah, just to prove that these guys are pretty much phonies, fakes, frauds. They're out here like giving personal information, like where my dad lives, out, and if there's any COINTELPRO, it's them. They're not even COINTELPRO. They just work for a media company, and they're trying to discredit me and flag my channels down. But what they should do is get rid of the copyright strike on my channel by Shaw Media Incorporated, and let me have my channel back, because I'm still going to make videos no matter what, guys.
Keep them coming.
Yep. And that is about it. We're coming up on our time limit, so we will catch you guys next week on Illuminati Church.
It's about that time, folks. We're about to go behind closed doors and see the Illuminati slud.
All right, we'll put a link in the description box and you guys can join. Catch you guys next week.
See you later, guys. Peace.